I used to grab the same round brush every single morning and wonder why my hair looked thinner by noon than it did when I woke up. Nobody warned me that thin hair actually punishes the wrong technique faster than thick hair ever would. Today I'm walking you through 4 simple steps that flip the way you style thin hair. So instead of fighting it every morning, you're finally working with it. These aren't gimmicks or expensive tools. They're small changes in order, angle, and product that add real visible density back into your everyday look. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, because I cover this every single week. Part 1. The wash day mistake that's flattening your roots before you even pick up a brush. Here's something almost nobody tells you about thin hair. The damage to your volume happens in the shower, long before you ever touch a styling tool. Heavy conditioner applied at the roots is the single biggest reason thin hair goes flat by mid-morning. And most women do it without ever realizing it's the culprit. You reach for conditioner because your hair feels dry, and that instinct is right, but where you put it matters more than how much you use. Rosalind came into this exact problem convinced her hair was simply getting old, and there was nothing to be done. She'd been slathering conditioner from scalp to tip every single wash, the same way she had for 30 years. Nobody had ever told her that the scalp doesn't need conditioning the way the ends do. Heavy cream sitting against fine strands at the root weighs each individual hair down before it's even dry, which means you're starting your whole style with a handicap you can't style your way out of. The fix is simple and it takes 0 extra time. Apply conditioner starting 2 inches below your roots, working it only through the mid-lengths and ends where the hair is actually older and drier. At the sink, tell your stylist exactly this. Please only condition from the ears down, and use a lightweight, volumizing formula, not a heavy moisture mask. That single sentence changes what product touches your scalp for the rest of your hair care routine. A lightweight, volumizing conditioner is formulated without the heavy silicones and dense oils that coat and flatten fine strands. It rinses clean instead of leaving a film behind. Once Rosalind switched, she noticed the difference before she'd even finished blow-drying. Her roots stood up on their own, no product required, simply because there was nothing weighing them down anymore. That's the snapback moment that matters here. This fix changes how people read you from across a room. Full roots signal healthy, vibrant hair. Flat roots read as tired, regardless of your actual energy that day. You're not adding anything artificial. You're removing the one thing that was quietly working against you every single wash. There's a second layer to this that most people skip. Water temperature affects how much your cuticle lies flat or lifts. A final rinse with cool water, not ice cold, just cool, helps seal the cuticle so hair doesn't absorb excess water weight, which is another hidden source of flatness once you towel dry. Warm water for washing, cool water for the final rinse. It sounds like a small detail, but combined with root-free conditioning, it's the difference between hair that sits down all day and hair that has somewhere to go. Here's the before and after that makes this fix worth doing every single time you wash. Before, Rosalind's roots collapsed flat within 20 minutes of drying, no matter how she styled the rest. After, her roots held natural lift for the entire day, without a single volumizing product touching her scalp. The transformation didn't come from something new added to her routine. It came from something old finally taken away. This one change is foundational, because everything else in this video builds on top of it. If your roots are already weighed down before you dry, no amount of clever styling in the next 3 steps will fully undo that. So get this piece right first. But washing correctly is only step 1. What you do in the first 60 seconds after you step out of the shower matters just as much. And that's where most women lose the battle without ever knowing it. Part 2. The towel habit quietly wrecking every style you try after. Most women reach for the same bath towel they use on their body and rub their hair dry with it. And that single habit is doing more damage to thin, fine strands than almost any tool in your styling routine. Friction from a rough terry towel roughs up the cuticle layer of fine hair almost instantly. And once that cuticle is roughed up, hair reflects less light, tangles more, and simply looks thinner, no matter how it's cut or colored. Colette used to wrap her hair in a towel turban for 20 minutes every morning while she did her makeup, the exact way her mother taught her decades ago. She had no idea that all that time twisted in rough fabric was quietly stripping shine and creating the very frizz she battled with a flat iron later. The habit felt efficient. It was actually working against her the entire time. The fix is switching to a microfiber towel, or even an old cotton t-shirt, and changing the motion entirely from rubbing to gentle pressing. You press the fabric against sections of hair and release, moving section by section, rather than scrubbing back and forth the way you would dry a dish. At your next salon visit, ask specifically, "Can you show me the correct blotting technique for fine hair, and recommend a microfiber towel I can use at home?" Stylists have this answer ready, they just rarely get asked. Microfiber fibers are finer and smoother than terry cloth, so they absorb water without catching and roughing up the cuticle the way traditional towels do. The result shows up immediately in how light bounces off your hair. Roughed up cuticle scatters light in every direction, which reads visually as dull and thin. Smooth cuticle reflects light in one direction, which reads as shine, and shine is one of the strongest visual signals of healthy volume, even more than actual thickness. This is the snapback moment. Two women with the exact same hair density can look completely different in a room, depending on how much shine their hair is throwing off. You're not changing how much hair you have. You're changing how much light it reflects, and that reads as fuller every single time. Colette made the switch and noticed within the first week that her afternoon frizz, the frizz she'd blamed on humidity for years, was almost gone. It wasn't humidity. It was cuticle damage from 20 minutes of daily friction, compounding week after week. Once that stopped, her hair held smoother, glossier, and genuinely fuller looking through the entire day, without changing a single other product in her routine. There's a timing piece here too. Fine hair holds far more water weight proportionally than thick hair, which means over-drying with a towel for too long actually pulls moisture the hair needs, leaving it brittle by the time you reach for heat tools. 90 seconds of gentle blotting per section is genuinely enough. Longer than that starts working against you rather than for you. Set a timer the first few times if you need to, until the new rhythm feels automatic. Here's the before and after that tells the whole story. Before, Colette's hair looked dull and frizzed by early afternoon no matter what she used to smooth it. After, the same hair held a soft, healthy shine well into the evening, with zero additional product. The towel wasn't a small detail. It was the whole difference between fighting frizz all day and never creating it in the first place. You've fixed the wash, and you've fixed the dry. But there's a product step almost every woman with thin hair gets backward, applying the right thing at exactly the wrong moment, and it's costing you every bit of volume you just worked to protect. Part 3. The product timing mistake that cancels out your volume before you even start styling. This one surprises almost everyone. Applying volumizing mousse or spray to soaking wet hair is actually working against you, not for you. Fine hair has a limited capacity to hold product weight, and when hair is dripping wet, most of that capacity gets used up by water alone, leaving almost no room for the product to actually do its job once your hair dries. Diane had a cabinet full of volumizing products, the good ones, the expensive ones, and still felt like nothing worked the way it promised on the bottle. She was applying mousse the moment she stepped out of the shower, hair still saturated, rubbing it through from root to tip the way the commercials always show. It felt thorough. It was actually diluting the product to the point of near uselessness by the time her hair finished drying. The fix is waiting until hair is damp, not dripping, roughly 70% dry if you're using a diffuser or blow dryer partway through, before applying any volumizing product. At that point, apply a coin-sized amount of mousse or root lifting spray directly at the root area only, working it in with your fingertips in an upward, lifting motion rather than smoothing it flat. Tell your stylist exactly this at your next appointment. Recommend a lightweight root lift spray for fine hair, and show me how much product is actually the right amount, because I think I've been using too much. Stylists see this mistake constantly, and most women are shocked at how little product is actually needed once it's applied at the correct moisture level. Here's the snapback moment that makes this worth doing every time. Product applied to the right moisture level doesn't just sit on the hair, it actually bonds to the strand as it dries, creating real structural lift that lasts through the day. Product applied to soaking wet hair mostly just slides off or gets diluted into nothing, which is why so many women feel like their volumizer stopped working over time. It never worked in the first place, not the way it was being applied. Once Diane adjusted her timing, she used less than half the product she used to and got noticeably more lift, the kind that held from morning coffee through dinner out. There's a second detail that compounds this fix. Where you apply matters as much as when. Most volumizing product gets applied evenly through the whole head, ends included, when the roots are really the only place fine hair needs the lift. Ends of fine hair are typically the oldest, most fragile part of the strand, and loading them with mousse or root spray just weighs them down further, working directly against the lift you're trying to build at the crown. Concentrate product where the density actually needs support, and let the ends stay light and free. Diane's biggest realization was that she'd been unconsciously punishing her hair for not holding volume, when really the timing and placement of her own routine had been sabotaging it the whole time. Once the process changed, the volume simply appeared, without new products, without more effort, just correct sequencing of what she already owned. Here's the before and after. Before, Diane's mousse sat uselessly at the surface, rinsed of most of its effect by excess water, and her volume faded within the hour. After, the same product, applied at 70% dry and concentrated at the root, held real, touchable lift for the entire day. You've now fixed how you wash, how you dry, and how you apply product. There's one final step left, and it's the one almost every woman skips entirely, because it happens at the very end, when you think you're already done styling. Part 4. The final step: habit that locks an all-day volume, or erases it in 10 seconds. This last step decides whether everything you've just done holds until bedtime or collapses by lunch. And almost nobody talks about it because it happens after the styling feels finished. It's the cool shot, and specifically, how and when you use it, or more often, don't use it at all. Marguerite used to blow dry her hair on high heat from root to tip, switch the dryer off the second her hair felt dry, and walk away satisfied with how it looked in that exact moment. What she didn't realize is that hair styled with heat needs a moment to cool down before the shape it's holding actually locks into place. Walking away immediately, while the hair shaft is still warm and pliable, means gravity gets the final say, not your styling effort. The fix is using the cool shot button, the one on nearly every dryer that almost nobody uses, for the final 15 to 20 seconds on each section once it's shaped the way you want. Cool air causes the hair's cuticle to close and harden around the shape you've just created, essentially locking the style in place the way setting spray locks makeup. Ask your stylist directly. Can you show me exactly how long to hold the cool shot on each section? And which sections matter most for someone with fine hair? The answer is almost always the crown and root area first, since that's where volume is most fragile and most valuable. Here's the snapback result that makes this final step worth the extra 30 seconds. Hair set with a proper cool shot holds its shape 2 to 3 times longer than hair walked away from while still warm, according to how most stylists explain the science of the cuticle to their own fine-haired clients. That's the difference between volume that survives a full day of errands, meetings, and dinner out, versus volume that looks great in your bathroom mirror and is gone by the time you reach the car. You're not adding a product. You're finishing a process you already started, and that completion is what makes it last. Marguerite tested this the simplest way possible, styling one side of her head with her old rushed habit, and the other side with a full cool shot finish, then going about her regular afternoon. By early evening, the difference was impossible to miss in the mirror. One side had softened and dropped. The other still held the lift and shape from that morning, nearly unchanged. She hadn't needed a new product or a different cut. She'd needed 30 more seconds at the very end of a routine she'd already been doing right up until that final moment. This is also the step where a cool round brush, held in place without pulling through the hair, makes the biggest difference at the crown specifically, since that's the area under the most tension from gravity all day. Wrap a small section around the brush, hold it steady near the root for the final cool blast, then release. No pulling, no dragging, just holding the shape while the cuticle sets around it. Here's the final before and after of this entire video. Before, Marguerite's volume looked full in the mirror at 9 in the morning and flat by 5 in the afternoon. Every single day, no matter what she tried upstream. After applying all 4 steps together, wash, dry, product timing, and the cool shot finish, that same volume held strong from morning until night, visibly and consistently. For small changes, in the right order, and thin hair stops being something you fight every single morning. You now know exactly why thin hair goes flat, and it was never really about how much hair you have. It was about the order you wash, dry, apply product, and finish in. And now that order is working for you instead of against you. That's a real, permanent shift in how your hair holds volume, not a temporary trick. Tell me in the comments which of these 4 steps you're trying first: the root-only conditioning, the microfiber blot, the damp hair product timing, or the cool shot finish. I read every single one. Next week I'm covering the exact haircut lengths that add the most visible density for thin hair, so you'll know precisely what to ask for at your next appointment. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.